The following is paid for by the Mao World Order.
Hello, and welcome to the Spiral Dimension. I'm Dr. Von Hoot, and this is the first episode of Spiral Dimension Wrestling, where we're going to chat professional wrestling, the greatest sport on the planet that isn't a sport. And I've got some wonderful guests backstage, so let's bring them out. My main man, Flash by Night. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm hot, but great. Bit nervous about
I
making this difficult, but we'll see.
I was just laughing at the last scene of the intro where Randy kind of over tosses one of the Bollywood boys.
Yeah.
And even Randy's like, I may have overdone it.
Yeah, that killed me when it happened. Like to the point where I kept replaying it. It was a weird sort of really got in Hoot's head. And next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend. Beckerman's in the house.
Showed up during the intro.
Yeah, I know. That's tremendous. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. And I was gonna say, isn't wrestling the sport of kings?
It is, and queens. Now we have many of those
Of the rings.
Yeah, absolutely, of the ring
that are squared.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to talk about your recent photo that you showed on IG of you in the ring just the other day.
Yes. I'm not going to say who, but there's a masked man in Kansas City who possesses the photos of me getting in and out of that ring. And I told him if he ever shares them with anybody on social media, it's war. Like, I will be legitimately angry because it went about as spectacularly awful as you would think, because, wrestling rings are not built for short, fat guys with bad knees to get into.
It's the bad knees that are the hardest thing. Like,
yeah,
get it up.
Well, and the apparatus. So they had I would say a pretty standard for indie wrestling, like gridded metal, like that they just slid up to its staircase. And every step I took on that, it shimmied enough where I was like, all right, let it settle down and then we'll do the next step.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Rightio. And finally, rounding out the panel this evening, we have this guy.
Oh,
I love the t-shirt.
Izzy was
That's
gonna
cool.
be here.
Yeah.
Bones Dogs ready. What's going on, guys? How you been?
Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go. Izzy is
please. You know my takes are pretty accurate, though. Usually,
I know you think they are. Yes.
No, usually when I say things happen, they do happen. You guys know this. Darby Allin, for example, I felt it that moment that, oh yeah, he's gonna win the title tonight, and I called it. So I'm pretty good in my predictions.
How you doing tonight? Izzy, all good?
I've been going crazy. DVH, you know a little bit about what I've been going through, my little Spider-Man 1000 thing. So yeah. I've been busy editing like a madman. So hopefully I get this thing done in time, but it's been taking me forever to get this thing done. And
tremendous. I look forward to it when it's all completed.
So I'm like, channel members get a chance.
It's a big project. So
channel members have been getting bits and pieces as it's been flowing. So, and there's one out now. So, but we're not here talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about
we're
wrestling.
not for once. Yeah, we're talking about wrestling today.
But I would leave if we were here to talk about Spider-Man.
Well, that's why I wore the shirt. You see, it's timing here.
Just so you can fit it in a little bit.
He's fine as a prototype speedball goes. He's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Rightio, guys. So the first thing on the agenda, because I've broken this down into a few little That's the wrong word. Nuggets. There you go. That was
Nuggets.
strange.
There we go.
Yeah, a few nuggets. And essentially what I'm thinking is we're going to do a little roundup about what we liked from the TV in this last week as to start things off. Don't worry, you're not expected to remember what happened. I will tell you a few things off, you know, because
Yeah, we're
I
all
don't,
old.
I don't really remember what happened on Raw last week already, and it was only last week. But having said that, we had, I guess, the big thing coming out of Raw was more of the Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso stuff, and they had a match in the main event, which obviously they just announced on the show, as they always do. How do we feel about Solo Sikoa? I'm intrigued. And what happened on Raw?
So
My wife likes him.
Oh, that's a good sign.
I guess that's good. I think he's the one guy from this whole bloodline storyline that has branched out to be something different. Where Jay was supposed to be that guy, and it all turns out he wasn't. And now Solo seems to finally get his momentum because they're allowing him to be the character he should have always have been. From what I've gathered, like they used to talk about him being the funniest guy in the backstage, and no one got to see it. Instead, they gave him the typical "I'm going to be the serious, the enforcer for this team." Where obviously it didn't suit him until we figured out who he really is. So now we're actually getting to see Solo be who he's always supposed to have been, himself. So I think there's something to it. You know what I mean? I think there's something to that.
And I don't
I
care
think this-
about Royce Keys. I don't care.
He hasn't been around long enough to care, right?
No, he has. That's the thing. They're just not doing anything with him, and it's really sad that they can't figure out how to make that guy work. You know,
he's been out there.
It's just not happening for me.
He's been out there plenty with let's say the players. They haven't, or he hasn't found anything unique to give us outside of big man power. But
I agree to that.
I think they'll eventually find him something, or he'll find something. But like he's been out there more than Carmelo. You know what I'm saying? He's been out there around the top. He's been out there enough to see.
At the same token, though,
doesn't have that thing yet.
I know the conversation is more about Solo, but at the same token with Royce Keys, I think he's one of those guys that he's an AEW guy that just came into WWE. He didn't learn how the WWE style, as they call it. He just went right into it, even though, because there is something to the WWE style that matters. And he's just an AEW guy, so he's like a square, a square peg in the circle.
Let's just call it what it is. It's bad booking and limited booking. Like
limited, it's a good word.
They don't know what to do with him, because I guarantee the spot they maybe thought they would put him in, Obafemi is taking up right now.
But I think Obi was always going to get that spot, though. I think
he was always
just because they're not that good at this, which is why this is the fifth version of the Bloodline we've seen. Like more the never-ending Bloodline drama. I just don't care about it.
That was my thing about going back to the Solo of it all and the Jey Uso thing. I couldn't work out why. From their interactions and their interviews, all that kind of stuff, why would Roman Reigns care if Solo was in the family? There's no threat to the bloodline, as far as I can tell, at all. Like nothing. There's no. It would sort of make sense if there was like an imminent danger to them, but there's nothing. There's nothing at all. I don't even know. I think the only thing Roman's got going on is he's got to wrestle Penta after he wins this tournament.
Like, and he's going to win that.
Absolutely. And that was one of the bright spots on Raw, I want to say that Penta versus Laredo Kid match was actually pretty decent, and they are a lot more interesting when they're throwing the luchadors out. I'll put it that way on Raw.
Yeah, and the
If I remember right,
luchadors
they
are-
actually squeezed. Did they squeeze 5 matches out of Raw this week? I feel like I remember seeing a 5th match and thinking, "Oh, we've got a 5th match on Raw."
I think you might be right.
What's
I'll double
happening?
check.
What's
for
happening
a
here?
for a show that's technically 2.5 hours long, because that seems to be how it clocks, right? It's a show
Yeah.
in total length of 2.5 hours. The fact that you just said 5 matches says a lot about how much they care about the wrestling side of things.
I mean, you
You know what I'm
mean,
saying? The
I mean,
actual
but
wrestling.
that's the company. So one of my bigger things about WWE and kind of how they're perceived is that I think that's always been, at least for a while, that's always been the company. I think we're pointing it out now, but I think that's always, for a long time,
I think that's
been
always
them.
been. I think that's always been part of the company, but not to the extent it is today. So the McMahon years, which we call it what they are, I don't care for them as much either. But the McMahon years, there was some more wrestling than it was showmanship the way it is today. Now it's and even the show side of today is not even that. It's more about advertisement than shows.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like the McMahon era was more about the entertainment versus the sport. This is not about the sport or the entertainment. This is about how much of Slim Jim's money can we milk out of this table.
Brought to you by Riyadh Season.
So,
yeah, exactly. So I'm like, the minute I get it
but do you
and all
get
that
your
stuff.
Slim Jim from DoorDash?
It's not making me want more Slim Jim, right? But the thing is like the ring being what it is now, it's just, it looks really bad.
I
know what I'm saying?
I don't think they can. I don't think they can get out of it either. That's the worst part.
Well, they don't
wanted
want
to make a
to.
change
They don't
to
want
that.
to. They love it. They don't care.
Who is they?
Did we ever
Who is
answer
the-
the Solo Sokoa question?
No
My point
idea.
is, I don't think
Yeah, I know.
I don't think WWE can get out of it. But going back to Solo
It's
Sikoa,
TK.
we'll do that thing later.
Yeah, but it is the TKO of it all. It's not WWE. It's the TKO of it all.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is I don't think they can. The WWE, I don't think can get out of it, even if they're uncomfortable. If it doesn't work right, I don't think they can get away from it. But as for Solo Sikoa, I told somebody this weekend. I knew when he slipped on the Smack. I think he was interrupting a Jey Uso promo, and he came to SmackDown with tickets because I guess he wasn't supposed to be there. He came he came to SmackDown with tickets. I'm like, you know what? They've got something if they let him loose. And eventually they did. Now, when he goes into the Bloodline this Monday, I expect for there to be chaos to start. And I don't think he's gonna fall in line if that's the word we want to use.
I agree, Izzy. I also love TM.
Yeah.
I
But,
think that's
I don't know. Solo Sikoa, they've obviously repackaged him. I think he's getting better crowd reactions. And I always gauge, like, it was kind of a joke earlier when I said my wife likes him, but she's kind of my barometer for, she's not going to deep dive wrestling. She doesn't go to the internet to seek it out. She'll see stuff on TikTok, so she's usually making me aware of what wrestlers and their girlfriends make funny videos while cooking or something. Like, that's her version of keeping up with, like, wrestling. But she's not she's not on the internet seeking it out. She's not gonna, like, she has no idea what CMLL is. Stuff like that. She's not gonna go deep. She's not gonna watch people in Japan, but she watches AEW and she watches WWE, and she really likes Solo Sikoa. So he's whatever they're doing with him, it's working. I just can't care anymore. Everything about the Bloodline is boring to me, and it feels very generic. Like, hey, we don't have any ideas, so we're just going to keep redoing this thing. And Roman Reigns, it takes forever to do anything. in the ring.
Yeah, and with the whole Roman Reigns of it all, I think Roman is at a stage now where he has to go. Like, I think he really needs to go and just like do his whole thing, have his movie career, something like that, because we reverted right back to the old Roman, even though we were trying to get out of that Roman. Like, somehow he was going a different path where he was going to be the baby face, and he somehow did a U-turn right back to where he was. And the whole, like you said, the bloodline storyline, it's the only missing piece of this whole bloodline is Paul Heyman now. Like, sooner or later, he's going to just have to call Paul Heyman back and like, yo, Paul, come back. Because that's it. You're just reverting it back. Everybody's reverting back to their old character where they're not evolving. So the bloodline would be better if it was an evolving bloodline, but it's not. It's just, we're just making we're doing the bloodline all over again, exactly the same way it was. And you don't do that. So, sorry, DVH, about that.
Counterpoint. Roman Reigns is not a heel. He's not a uber baby face, but he's not a heel.
He's a tweener.
Yeah. He doesn't and hasn't for the past few championship defenses looked anywhere towards anybody in the family. He's on his own. He does his thing on his own. I think, at least for him, the stories they tell are like personal stories that they don't do. I don't think they do heel and face when it comes to him. It's kind of either wrestling principles like the CM Punk thing, or it's family matters. But I wouldn't say that it's like the old bloodline. It's similar, but I wouldn't say it's the same thing.
I see it them just reverting right back to it. Because that's what it looks like. That's what it's evolving.
But it's not the same thing.
I agree with DJ in so much as I think they don't see him as a heel or a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they do that quite a lot with their upper card, really.
Yeah.
It's like built into the fabric of WWE now that there aren't really heels and faces.
But why does
it's awful because of it, but
nobody calls them out for it though, and they call out AEW for it all the time.
Constantly.
And, you have the bloodline in WWE are, Roman Reigns specifically. Is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? Nobody knows. It doesn't seem to matter, but it should if we're telling where the real storylines happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jon Moxley and his Mudline. Like, nobody, is he a heel? Is he a good guy? Week to week.
Well, I'll give you a good example of how you don't know what the hell's going on. The last Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event. That was in Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
They put it out as Roman Reigns was the ultra baby face when he came in with this guy, right? And you're going into the story with him and Seth Rollins, where based on the projection or the perception, Seth is the baby face, Roman's the heel. But now, because of this situation in Madison Square Garden, they did a role reversal. And they made it seem like Seth was the heel, and they did definitely played it off that way because he came out with that basketball player from the Spurs. And
That was a heel
from the Pacers. From the Pacers. But Seth was also more aggressive the Monday Night Raw beforehand. He took that shot on Roman Reigns first.
They switch it up day by day. So the way I look at storylines of wrestling specifically, right, is that if we have a program, someone's clearly going to play a role in this program. The way they're pulling out is that this person is going to play the role in this area like this, and in that area is like that. It's like when back in the day with the Hart Foundation and the Americans. While we're in America, we're heels. While we're in Canada and everywhere else, we're baby faces, right? They were literally doing that, but they're doing that from town to town now. And it just doesn't work. It just
They're doing
feels
it out of
weird.
I don't-
laziness.
I don't see it. I
Yes,
don't
it
see
is
it that way.
laziness. It felt really weird watching it in mass. I love the show. I think that show was like this. Their Saturday night's main events have been like the best shows of all the shows they do.
I
But
think
that one
that's
was
the
weird.
best that they do. Like it's sort of the best blend of wrestling and entertainment they've managed to pull off with
Mhm.
those shows. I wouldn't want every TV show to be that, but like as special events.
Yeah, but that's what Saturday
they're
night's
fun. Yeah.
Saturday night's main event
Exactly.
has always been.
Yeah.
It's always been. It's never been the show to solve a problem.
Mhm.
It's always been the show to lead to the big show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a big show, Saturday night's main event. I love when Michael Cole screams the names of basketball players I've never heard of at me. Like, I'm not a basketball guy, and I'm sorry, those are not household names. Like, no matter how much Michael Cole wants me to believe
It was a
that
local thing more than
blah
anything.
blah and blah are the biggest stars since Larry Bird.
Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton. Come on, Indiana Pacers.
I'm sure their
Hey,
parents.
you know it more
love
than
them,
me.
and
I'm
their
not a
friends and
basketball guy
family
either, but
all
I
care
know.
about them. But I don't.
But they're in New
care,
York. They
you know?
were, the Lakers. You hear me? The Knicks just
Once they got a
won.
second, once they got a second Knicks segment, I'm like, yeah. And I mean, by this time it's the end of the show. But the second Knicks segment, I'm like, yeah, I know what this is now. Which I mean, it's entertainment, like they
When
call it.
WCW
So-
did it, at least everybody knew who Dennis Rodman was.
This is true, and believe it or not, we'll be talking about that later on.
Oh,
So-
You mean,
Oh,
you mean this?
no.
You mean this WCW? Are you talking about this one?
Well, not that specific WCW, but yes, more or less. That's a cool pin.
I
Okay,
got it-
so
I
we-
got
Yeah,
it
if
at
you've
a
got
novelty
topics
shop.
for us, DVH, I recommend taking control of this.
Yeah, we're moving on it now. So I want to touch on Dynamite as well, and sort of the big
Pictures out here.
because I'm trying to keep it smooth, like hour-ish.
Have you watched
Um,
Collision yet? Speaking of
I have,
WWE?
yes.
Okay.
I watched it right before. But anyway, Dynamite first. The big thing coming out of that for me was what looks like Swerve is bringing in some people, and I think it's pretty clear who we all think it's going to be. So, how do you think? Will that work? Will the New Day fit in with Swerve? And I'm really excited about it because I liked the idea of them being heel, and when they turned heel initially, it was great, and then they just booked them into the toilet. So I want to see if they can book them properly as heels. That would be exciting.
I don't
How about
know if it makes
I
sense
worry
if they
about
come
them
in.
outshining Swerve.
Oh, they will. They're guaranteed going to.
I mean, they will
There's no way
initially.
around it.
They're quick-witted. I feel like Swerve has got kind of lost in the jumble of the card in the booking.
A little bit, yeah,
A little bit. And if they can work well together, here's the thing. I think Kofi is very good at working with Xavier Woods. And I think Xavier Woods, especially in AEW where he's going to have freedom, is going to cook on the mic.
Mhm.
And I get worried about Swerve getting left behind in that. Because I think Xavier Woods is going to blow up in AEW. I really do.
I'm with you on that. I think Xavier
Interesting.
Woods, out of all, I think the glue was always Biggie, in my opinion. But I always think the mouthpiece, the biggest mouthpiece, is Austin Creed now, as we all call him. That's his old name. Anyway, I think he was always the mouthpiece of it, where Kofi kind of like latched on to him in that way. Now, Kofi did give us Kofi Mania and stuff like that because he's just a natural talent. But I think if it wasn't for Austin Creed or Xavier Woods or whatever you want to call him this time around, I think the New Day would not be successful if it wasn't for him. He's the guy that made them what they are.
I think you're right. He was the vision behind it.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
seems right anyway.
Even though they all put their part, like one is not as better than the other, but I think he's the one that puts the team together. He stirs the team or the pot or whatever it's called.
Also, New Day and Swerve versus, say, maybe Omega and the Bucks.
Well, that's what I
really
thought was going to happen. I
awesome
thought they were going to do
banger.
something with the Bucks and Edge and Christian.
I just hope they don't get to it too quick. That's kind of the hallmark of AEW is they jump to the payoff too quick.
Unless your name is Mercedes Moné.
Well, with Mercedes is a little bit different because she genuinely struggled for a little while there at the beginning to get back that feeling, but now she is back, so it worked eventually. It just took a long time for her to get her feet.
So here's the thing about not getting there too quickly, though. And this is something, not going back to WWE, but this is something I think about with their older stars. Do you want to jump into things that you may not, that time may not be on your side with, like an Edge and Christian? Like if they come in and if we want to do Edge and Christian and whatever the New Day's name is going to be, they're on the clock to try to get that done.
Yeah.
And does that take place even with Kofi? I'm not calling Kofi old, but he's the elder statesman of the two.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a clock does he have?
To try and plenty of years. He started young.
I honestly have literally no interest in watching
he's 45.
Either of those two wrestlers wrestle people from WWE. Like, it's I don't want to see them wrestle Edge and Christian because I've seen them wrestle those matches a million times. Give me something a little bit
great. But they're gonna want to get it, and it's gonna sell. It may not be the greatest matches, but it's gonna sell. It's gonna make noise.
Yeah. It's a moneymaker.
I think they should definitely announce the New Day before All In. That is my opinion, rather than have a surprise. Because you want to sell tickets. I know they're not going to do it.
The tickets are sold already.
No, there are loads of tickets still left, so you can.
Yeah,
like it's Wembley Stadium,
and they're using a smaller portion than they have previously of the stadium, right?
It'll be around 45 max thousand in there, and that's it's half the stadium. Honestly,
and they've sold about 2/3 of it so far.
Yeah, they're on like 39, I think, something like that.
Okay.
So
based off the hunch that Swerve is going to team up with them, then this week, if that's the case, and they want to like get that overhaul, they may debut this week. But are they available to debut yet?
I think so. I think they're
over. I think they're just over their 90.
I'd save them for Chicago personally, and I'd do a better build.
Well, Chicago is happening 2 weeks afterwards. They don't really build towards that one anymore.
Well, they don't build much at all, unfortunately. That would be my biggest criticism of them, is they do drop a lot of balls in AEW, and that's because the guy who does the booking won't let people help him.
I don't know that. I mean, I would disagree slightly in so much as I think that there is so much talent in that roster, because there are genuinely a crazy amount of people on that roster. It's getting them all rotating correctly.
So don't hire 300 wrestlers.
I get it, but
I think the problem is
he's
that
a great guy,
still...
but the fact that he's still paying Jay Lethal and still paying. Actually, you know what? I take back Jay Lethal, because at least you get to see him on Collision and stuff.
But
the Hurt Syndicate disappears for months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
In between appearances. That's ridiculous. You're paying all this money for these people, and you're not using half of them. The Rascals. They signed the Rascals, and then they've pretty much stuck them in Ring of Honor. And
Rascals are constantly on Collision. It's just that Collision is not
the B show. The show that gets like 200,000 views. Like,
no one watches it on Saturdays. Unfortunately, you put it on.
Put it on. But and I like Collision, but I have
not watched Collision
Brooke
He's
Baker.
almost
Somebody
since it
just
started.
talked about or Britt
This is true.
Baker.
Britt
I
Baker's
mean,
been gone
yeah.
forever.
I think in
Yeah.
Brit, I think she's just waiting for her contract to expire.
The workhorsemen are still cashing
I
checks.
think
Serpentico still cashing a check.
They won't release her. They're
I
just waiting for that contract to expire.
think Britt became so much of a problem, I understand it, that they've just decided to be like, okay, well, like we'll pay you, but like
Go away.
we don't want you on TV.
Is this-
Is
is
this
like
still?
that's what I guess.
Have we done a
Is
wellness
this
check
still going?
on Adam Cole?
Adam Cole is expected to show up somehow very, very soon. That's the last I heard. He might show up in All Out some way, but he's not wrestling from what I'm hearing. I think he's actually
Oh,
done.
Jay White, I know is back, but there's no place. Like, there's all these
The
guys.
Bang Bang
that
Gang.
do
I mean,
the
Bang
best.
Bang White.
They're doing something with the Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah, Jay White was on Dynamite. Had probably one of my favorite matches on the show. I thought that was really good. He was in the classic with David Finlay, who I don't like at all. But like, he just doesn't. He's got no character at all, except like I was a son and I wrestled in Japan. Like,
This is gonna sound super petty, but Jay White, my biggest problem with him is he looks indistinguishable between so many other wrestlers. Like, there's just so many tall, skinny guys with long hair that can wrestle the Japan style. That's
a good point that Fuzzy makes.
Oh,
We'll know how things stand if she's at the Rebel show coming up, because they're doing a special show for Rebel, who is very unwell with ALS
in Georgia, right?
Mm-hmm. And she's
who is they? Who is they? And how do I watch it? Besides being
Dynamite, Dynamite is going to be a one-off sort of tribute show to Rebel while she's still with us, and hopefully continues to be still with us. But that's the idea. And if Britt Baker isn't on that show, I do think that is a bit of a problem, really, because
that's the telltale sign.
Yeah, that is a very good point, Fuzzy.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right, let's move along again, because we are not covering too much. SmackDown. Okay, let's just go straight to the meat of SmackDown, which was the Kevin Owens CM Punk promo. I'll get my 2 cents in first. I thought it was all right. Yeah, in the middle. Like, I was disappointed, honestly. It's the same storyline they did in AEW with Kingston, but there was way less like energy to it. Eddie Kingston sold the hell out of everything that CM Punk said, and it was trading back and forth like they genuinely hated each other. Whereas you got Kevin Owens sort of flippantly being sort of like, yeah,
it's a little too insidery for me, and
and super long.
And super long, and it's clear that the crowd wants to back Owens, and yet Punk is still refusing to go full heel in it. No, he should just embrace it. You called him fat a bunch of times over the years. Just own it and be the villain.
But whose fault? Whose fault is that?
Both of the booking.
I think that has to deal with
at this point.
That has to deal with booking to me. I think when it comes to booking, like you said, the same thing with Roman. They don't want to pull the trigger on Punk because they're afraid. This is, I think, their number one fear. Again, their money. All they care about is money. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else. So they're afraid that they'll lose money if a character goes heel.
Yes.
That's the fear. That's the fear.
So we just keep getting
somebody has to do it one time. Sometimes sooner or later, somebody has to do it. Either Punk or Cody. I don't think it's going to be Roman. Roman has maybe like a year and a half, 2 years left.
I think Roman got months, man. I don't think he got a year. I think he got months.
Roman said on his own
SmackDown and
volition,
that,
he's
back to
he's on his
Owens.
way out.
So
Yes.
going back to the Owens Punk thing, I think in this story, Punk is serving the heel role that he should be serving. I personally am excited for the match. I think these two guys are two of the best in the business, and when it comes to the mics, and you could tell by the way they're talking to each other, this is programmed. This is not. It's not. It doesn't feel organic the way they could probably make it organic because they're being told, "Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this," and then keep it this way. Like they're still faces, but the reality of it is the truth is whenever someone comes from a major injury, the way Kevin Owens came out of that major injury, 18 months is a long time. You miss the guy. You want to cheer for him because he's back. There's no way this guy could come in as a heel because he's coming in as an uber babyface because you're happy that he's actually back.
And he is a legitimate axe to grind with CM Punk, who has,
exactly
over the years multiple times called him fat and lazy.
And you got a story here.
The average wrestling fan,
and you got a story here.
So
they should have gone into this more because how many of the product's fans, adult men, overweight, I mean, it's a stereotype of wrestling fans. How many of us have, and I'm speaking for myself, how many could identify with a workplace bully?
Here's my problem with that one issue of making one of these two a heel. We tried that before. We tried that before with an aging star that everybody likes, that everybody cheers, and y'all hated John Cena.
But John Cena was
actually
never
trying to be a
heel. He was never intended to be a heel.
Well, because they did it terribly.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did it way too late. I mean, it's
way too
late.
It,
but I bought into it. I bought in to his story of being underappreciated for 20 years, and because it's a real thing that can and does happen. Okay. When you're a person that serves other people, so I kind of bought into it.
But you don't do it.
But I think
you don't do it during his retirement tour. That's not when you do it.
How long does Kevin Owens have? Or how long does Kevin Owens or CM Punk have?
We don't have a time frame. We just know there is a time frame. So the fact that we don't know that it's okay. With Cena, we knew there was a time frame.
So. I don't think the fans are gonna turn on either one of them. We'll see if it happens.
Punk could do it
with the Owens Punk thing as I see it right now. And also this applies to all the main event in WWE. They are doing a lot of telling us about why people have beefs verbally.
Yeah. Everybody hates
and
each
not
other.
Really showing it ever on camera. Like
everybody hates each other. I hated you.
They hate each other, but they don't really hate each other, do they? Just something that happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, they got to tell these stories.
There's no
Every story has been a I hate you story.
Just like I don't like you. I don't like you. Said you were mean to my friends, and I don't like you. Right? Well, good. Show me some emotion, and then beat the crap out of one. Make it a thing.
Speaking of being mean to my friends, what do you think? Oh, sorry. Do you think Vince McMahon still watches the product?
I think Vince can't help himself. So I think yes.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he has to watch it. And what do you think he thought about them pretty much coming out and saying, "My friends, the Young Bucks, don't like you," and they, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think he thinks about, like, hey, let's reference the competition?
I don't think he cares.
I'm going to take my point of view, which is I had to be told that's what they was referencing. I don't think Vince got that.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't
know if Vince got that.
I think Vince is probably really annoyed about the size of Kevin Owens' beard or something crazy. Like he's just furious about it. But he
It-
doesn't care that they mentioned the
I
Young
am
Bucks.
curious how he feels about the advertising of it all. Like, I understand that he's a money guy too, but I feel like he does feel like there's some, it's losing its luster with all these advertisements, because he was very specific about certain looks and feels, and now they're like, oh, let's just throw a logo here, let's just throw a logo here. I don't think he would have approved what they did to the ring specifically, or like the tables or stuff
Mhm.
like that. That doesn't seem
Mhm.
like he cared about that. Yes, he cares about money, that I know, but
Mhm.
like the way they're using their advertising dollars to get certain things, I don't think he would have cared for that.
Vince would never have done it because
Yeah.
he
No.
was
There's a
literally
level of
asked
respect.
about it quite a lot.
There's a
As
level of
resident
respect for the ring.
WWE
Well, I don't think it was
As a
respect.
resident WWE Shield, even I can't stand the tables. And I forgive WWE for everything, and I can't stand the tables.
The tables are terrible, but like I think that Vince knew what he was doing to try and build it into a position into selling it. Like by not doing all that stuff, it put him in a better position until
Yeah.
he could have done all that money stuff and we would have lived with it for longer, but he strategically said, no, I'm not going to do that. That's my opinion. I think
I think there's a level of respect for the ring that he has,
Mm.
because I do believe there is
I
a level. I'm not saying a big one, but there is a level.
I don't
to
think
it,
he had much respect for the sport of wrestling. So
Well, I didn't say the wrestling sport, but I'm just saying the ring.
mm,
oh
you
well.
know, there's
But we
things about
digressed
him,
again, and
you know.
I'm sorry for my role in that. But I just the whole thing seemed too inside baseball for me. Like they were trying too hard to build the history without again. And who you said it perfect without
2
showing.
weeks.
yeah.
Without
Why?
showing.
That's
Yeah,
the
we
other
have a
thing.
main event on-
Why
we have a main event on
Why are we
Friday.
doing this on SmackDown like in 2 weeks? What's the point?
Because it's
You
not going
guys,
to end.
you guys are saying,
It's not going to end.
you guys are saying. I've heard you say that this reminds you of the CM Punk and Eddie Kingston thing, which I saw, but I don't know the history of those two. The worst thing for me is the first thing I thought was this is not CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Because when CM Punk showed up, Seth Rollins lit both of his boots and his jaw on fire. I didn't feel that from Kevin Owens the way I felt it when he came in.
That's actually
He already
why
came
I
in like
think-
on top of Seth Rollins.
That's why I think Owens might actually genuinely dislike him. Honestly, because like I didn't feel like it had the same sort of gusto that you like he was looking
Yeah.
forward and excited to doing
So to
this.
me, the better story would have been, you have a situation where CM Punk takes the belt from Sammy, right?
Mhm.
Do something with Sammy in which Kevin has to save him. And then you have the story. In other words, I took the belt from your boy. You're not taking it from me. I'm beating again. Goes back to Punk being a heel. He could do it. He's really good at it. And I think he really wants to be a heel eventually before he leaves it one more time. Give him that.
Well,
give him that
he's
job.
gone on record as saying that he was supposed to come back this time as a heel.
Yeah.
But he
So give
chose
him
not to
the
because
story.
He didn't think the fans would
Yeah,
go with it.
but you could do it.
So
You
would
could
that
do it in
would
this
that
way,
leave
make
Sammy
it
a babyface
80.
though?
Sure, Sammy.
Would that
Sammy's
leave
gonna-
Sammy a babyface?
The goal is, I think, the goal is for
Sammy
Sammy
is
to
me
go
that-
babyface into WrestleMania. That's what I think is the goal.
Sammy is mid as a babyface. I love heel Sammy. I don't know what it is. I like heels. I think babyface Sammy
Sami
is
Zayn
so
is coming
and eventually
close to being the Big Show in the amount of heel turns and face turns he's had.
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of it. Frankly, it's just back and forth. Back and forth.
heel.
Am I a nice guy? Am I annoying?
But
Am
you
I a
give
nice
it, you
guy?
give
Am
the
I
guy,
annoying?
you give a guy a title, then you strip him from that title within a matter of like what, a week, not just a couple of days.
And
That is a
It's heel.
baby face level
heel.
story. You just
It's
took
heel.
it from him.
Instant
To me, it's a
heel.
baby face.
because in a month you would have been saying that face Sammy as a champion is boring and blah blah blah. Make him a heel. Make him a heel. Because people didn't like Sammy as a pure face the last couple of years.
You're missing one of the logos. You know that, right? DVH. You don't have a TNA logo.
No, I did on the original version. I did.
Oh, really? So no one
I was
watches
like,
TNA.
and nobody watching that. Okay, so we're moving along a little bit now. Video relics. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I'm going to show you the poster and then the video for this particular event, and I want your initial reactions, if you can remember anything about it, and then we'll discuss it. Just I basically plan to do this on a weekly basis so that it'll be this happened to be this same week a good 20 something years ago. Maths, not a strong point.
Okay.
So here we go. It is at the aforementioned WCW event. And believe me, this poster, come on. What were they thinking? Just, what's that?
Oh, yeah.
We do a lot of complaining about modern wrestling, but
that is using your masking in Photoshop to come up with a format. So this is like I definitely know how they build this. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh yes, it is. So Road Wild, WCW.
That's Goldberg.
That's Goldberg. Yeah. It's Goldberg.
Okay, I can see it now.
Road, apparently.
I thought
Saturday, August 14th, 1999. Any memories of this whatsoever?
This is the time where WCW was unwatchable.
It's certainly.
I was watching it, but
I was definitely watching it,
but it was unwatchable even then. So
the motorcycle rally shows were fascinating to watch too, because
that's the best way to put it. Yeah.
It was like really great people watching.
Wait, what was the time frame? Look at the hours. Can you go back for a second? I just saw the hours. Does it say 8 p.m. to 5 p.m.?
Yeah, 8 p.m. till 5 p.m. Oh no! That's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, okay. That's
okay. That makes sense.
That makes more sense. I'm like, what?
So this was the WCW UK VHS release, because we didn't get WCW pay-per-views over here unless they were released on video. So we were in a bit until the internet.
The Nash Hogan retirement of the title, right?
It was the retirement match, and they've been teasing a match between Hogan and Nash since pretty much the turn and everything.
So this was the return of Yellow and Red Hogan? That's how much I did not watch this.
No, this was the return of Nash.
Yeah, this was
but Hogan's in Yellow and Red.
Yeah, he'd been Yellow and Red for a little while before this, I think.
Yeah.
If my memory serves. Bearing in mind that back then I just used to watch Nitro and Thunder until I could get them later on.
Yeah.
You know what the crazy part is, and I'm sure you know the card, because I'm sure like you have it pulled up or something. Is it gonna be better than we would think? Like, because the wrestlers they have in 1999, like I bet the undercard was stacked. You would have had off the top of my head Eddie Guerrero.
I will read.
They probably did something god awful with Buff Bagwell. I mean, Benoit, Guerrero.
So this was 99, wasn't
Mysterio Jr.
Okay. So
I'll
run down the matches for you, so you know what the matches were. You've got the Filthy Animals. If you're familiar with the Filthy Animals,
so that's Ray and Eddie and
Billy Kidman.
Billy
Kidman
versus ICP and Vampiro.
So ICP and St. Posse and Vampiro was one of those guys that I actually felt like
I always loved Vampiro.
He could have been like a big. He could have been a big deal. Something went
Harlem
wrong.
Heat. versus Canyon and Bam Bam Bigelow. The
Okay.
Revolution. Anybody remember the Revolution?
No,
It was
I
a
gotta know.
fairly short-lived stable, but you will know the people involved. Perry Saturn, Shane Douglas, and Dean Malenko. So
Okay.
basically,
Okay.
when they all left a couple of months later,
Yeah.
that went into the toilet. Versus the West Texas Rednecks, because rap is crap. You know,
Rap
That's
is crap.
Kurt Hennig.
what a
Kurt
tune.
Hennig.
That
Buff
I'll never
Bagwell
forget that song.
versus Ernest the Cat Miller, which you can't go wrong. That's one of my dream matches right there.
Ernest
Buff
the Cat was like,
Versus Ernest the Cat Miller.
wasn't Ernest the Cat
Go on.
kind of like R-Truth before R-Truth was a thing?
A little bit. I mean, worse. But yeah,
Yes,
a little
definitely
bit.
worse. But he was like
Chris
he was a good
Benoit
enhancement
versus
fighter.
DDP. That probably
That-
was quite good, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't remember.
I'm sure it was solid.
That was a no DQ match.
Oh, even better.
Sid Vicious
Oh,
versus
me.
Sting. So, do any of you want to watch Sting versus Sid Vicious in
Now, which
1999?
version? Now,
That
which
sounds
version of
pretty
Sting
bad.
are we getting? Are we getting Wolfpack?
Oh,
Sting?
that would be Crow Sting still. It might be Wolfpack Sting at that point, actually,
Yeah.
sort of around there. Then
So-
then the big matches.
Was
You've got
Rodman on this card?
I'm getting to it.
That's
Goldberg
why
versus
you said.
Goldberg versus Rick Steiner. I'm sure that's terrible. Randy Savage versus
Versus
Dennis
Rodman.
Rodman, which is
The
just
Worm.
crazy. They wasted a Macho Man match on Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
Really?
they did.
The fact that Dennis Rodman was
actually
in
quite
another
like to
But
match.
people actually knew who Rodman was, and that was
This
why
is
I
true.
used him as an example. He
Yeah.
transcended. You would see him in commercials, movies. Like
Yeah.
he was a big star. And all respect to the Pacers guy. I'm sure he's a very talented basketball player, but I've never heard of him, and I wouldn't have picked him out of a lineup.
And finally, Hulk Hogan versus Kevin Nash in a retirement match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
So it was
Yes.
it was Hogan retirement,
Mm-mm.
or they either one of them has to retire.
I think I don't know. I haven't watched it in years. I did watch this back in the day, but it's been a long time.
Yeah,
I mainly wanted to watch it for the ICP versus Filthy Animals match.
This
I'm
was
that
definitely
kind
the era. This was definitely an era that I decided not to watch WCW anymore.
Okay, so here's a review from Wikipedia that quotes Jack Brammer from 411 Mania. He gave this rating a 4.5 out of 10, which is
Okay.
pretty poor. The dredges of mediocrity, WCW had over a year left, but they were already losing significant steam by this point. I think the idea of an outdoor pay-per-view at Sturgis could have been a lot of fun, but most of the work here is just bad to average, and the booking is ass. Maybe
is where
watch maybe watch the 6-minute tag, and that's about it. Is the gist of it? Like, it doesn't sound good from that review.
So this is the moment where the big boys play became wheelchair wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Who was booking this at this point?
I think.
If I were to guess, I'd say it was Nash because
Yeah,
he was
probably.
on top, like, and that's the way he usually did it. I would. I'm going to Google that actually because that would be quite interesting. What years did Kevin Nash book WCW? Let's see if the interwebs can tell us. In February 99 through till...
So then this would have been
Okay.
included.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been if that's...
Oh, no.
No, I don't think so, because this is
What's this?
August.
May? Oh,
This is August. This was this this week gone. Hence
Okay.
the theme, as it were. So I would have guessed that, but maybe it was, I don't know, Russo or Bischoff. It could be any of them. They were rubbish.
I
Like,
mean,
it was-
there's not enough crass stuff happening. Like,
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't
he
seem
wouldn't have
like-
had that many matches.
it's
You read
not
off so
there
many
yet.
matches.
We're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Not
Bro,
quite.
this is a show, bro. It's
So-
a TV show, bro.
You had the ICP, so there's the start of something.
Yeah, true.
God,
You know?
that's Russo.
Mm,
Talking
he's a
And the
special
bro
cat.
stuff.
He's definitely
What
special.
grown man says bro that much?
I mean, he
Bro.
does say it a lot too. I mean, it's
Bro.
bizarre.
I think because he thinks it's his catchphrase. Like, to me, he's the kind of guy that would think he needs a catchphrase.
Right.
Yeah.
So, last thing, I'm going to skip something and go back to the future because we went back. Now we're going to the future.
We're
See?
going back. We're
Yeah,
returning.
yeah. It's a play on words and time and space. It's brilliant. I'm a genius.
All right.
So, the all-in card. There we go. What do we think so far? We've got the main event, which is Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. We've got the AEW International Championship, which is a three-way between Takeshita, Fletcher, and Okada. World Tag Championships, which is Cage and Cope versus the Young Bucks. Then you got the Women's Tag Championships, which is the Brawling Birds versus Divine Dominion.
I love Divine Dominion.
I like them too, as well. We've
They
got
are-
AEW
there
Women's
is a
World
presence.
Championship. They do have a presence, and they're getting quite good at it as well.
Yeah.
Like, I like them as a team; it works.
I hope they don't beat him.
They will. I
Hometown crowd.
really think they're
Oh,
going.
I know. It's because we've got the Brawling Birds in
they
London.
shouldn't. I'm 100% with you. I think they should keep the title on the Divine Dominion. I think
So
they're
I
going to do
would-
it.
Yeah. I get we're gonna do our predictions. That's what you're saying?
No, we're just discussing the card so
Okay.
far because,
All right.
like, there's another week's worth of TV before we're into the last week.
There's
of TV
one card
before
that's missing though. There is a card there is a
Oh,
match that's missing.
There'll be double this amount of
it.
matches.
There will
that's-
definitely be more matches.
Yeah, because we
by
got the
the
trios.
time-
We got the trios match that we're hinting at, right?
Yes, that's almost.
I
Certain.
want
That's
to talk
almost
about
that's
the
done.
build up between Andrade and MJF. And you probably maybe you like this booking for Andrade, but I think it is very forced. I think the how you know is stupid. I don't get
think-
it. I don't
think it's
like it.
stupid, yes, but I think it is slowly working. So, like,
Is the
it's-
idea that he seems like a clueless guy that is clearly paying women to stand there and
I don't know.
fawn over him?
I mean, I like the fawning bit. I think that's pretty brilliant.
I was-
Like, it's
I was
very
about to say,
simple.
the
Fine with
fawning-
that. The how
The
you
phony
know
is getting
just-
over.
the how you know is pissing me off.
Well, it's not going away, so I think you're in
Yeah,
How
I
you
know.
You know,
trouble.
It's,
I haven't watched enough of it to be annoyed by it yet.
and
Well,
I don't know.
I have my own particular, I have my own special question. If how you know pisses you off, how are you with Leo Rush? Because that's who I look to pop up every time he can.
I like Leo
love-
Rush. I
I
think
love
it's
him.
tremendous,
Yeah,
and
Right.
yeah, I like it. The little what do
He's
you call
definitely
it?
going
Umbrella
over
hat?
though with that.
The umbrella hat, and
He's
I
definitely
have
going
no
over with
idea
that
if it's
character
going
though.
to go anywhere, but he's just so good at it that it doesn't matter. Like,
He's
I
he
hope
is selling
it
that.
develops like
character.
Tony Storm did.
Y'all,
Yeah, he
Like, because
y'all
she
seen him in,
originally just seemed mental, and then she actually got it over.
he's
and I
going
think he-
full in on
no,
that character,
do
man.
So it could happen.
Y'all seen he and Shotzi together on the independents? He and Shotzi Blackheart. They're like this strange couple now who both have the same kind of catchphrase. It came from a match, and then all of a sudden they fell in love after the match, and they're the Black Hearts, and they both have black goo coming from their mouth, and yeah, they're a nice little pair that I'd like to see sometime.
So you're telling me Shotzi is going to show up in AEW very soon?
I don't know if Shotzi shows up in AEW, but I mean, if I were Tony Khan, I wouldn't say no, even if it's a one-off.
Yeah, I would get her as well.
Yeah.
I think she's great. She's got a great look, and she's very good. So it sort of ticks all the boxes for AEW.
She's known. She's not at that level of being superstar, but she's well known because she is a WWE superstar from back in the day. Yeah. So she had her moments. So she's recognizable. And most of the point, she understands the camera. She understands the camera.
WWE wasted her as well. That's the other thing. Like they really didn't use her enough.
They never had they never wanted her to excel because she's the type of person that kind of like with Bayley, I would say, in a way where she's just, you could tell she's just a fan.
I mean, I think Bayley's got significantly more exposure than Shotzi did.
Yes, but if you remember, Bayley always got shafted, especially when it came to WrestleMania.
Yeah, they do. They book her into the toilet again, but like they do book her. Like she gets a proper, she gets screen time, even if they mishandle.
She makes the most of the screen time.
Yeah, she makes the most out of it as well. Whereas Shotzi didn't really get enough screen time in the first place, so it's like there's a level to how bad
but I would love to see both her and Leo. Like Leo is in ROH / AEW. I would love to see them both together at some point in time there, so they can both have the black stuff coming out of their mouths and yeah. I think we will see her.
I think we will see her in AEW very soon.
At the moment, Leo seems to be doing a thing with the Rascals on Collision quite often. That's sort of the gist of what he's been.
So that's the show I need to watch to get my Leo Rush fix.
Yeah, you're probably more likely to see Leo on Collision. I would say
he was on Collision last night.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah,
and it was great as well. He is jumping onto the other dude and just like biting the hell out of him in a mad frenzy. It was just, he knows what he's doing. He's great.
Yeah,
he knows. He knows.
He knows. Yeah, that's awesome. Rightio, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. We are coming to the end of our. How do I get rid of this? I'll press this button. There we go. Could you tell the audience what you'll be doing this week? I suppose I could take it in turns. Let's go with Flashpoint Night, because you're right next to me, and we'll go clockwise like this. Tick, 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 tick.
Clockwise?
Okay.
Yes, clockwise to me. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything.
Something with Transformers. Weird
or out of place. I'm pretty sure there's a Transformers thing. I'm pretty sure there's a Moon Knight thing. I'm pretty sure there's an FOC video somewhere out there. If you are either on TikTok or on Instagram or on YouTube, I'm like 99% short form video content nowadays because that's how I squeeze it into my life. So yeah, little Transformers, little Moon Knight, a couple of indie books every once in a while, and then other shenanigans.
Beckerman, what are you up to?
Don't have a channel, and I'm not really anywhere regular. I do hang out with my friends over Bleeker's Church, and you can always catch me randomly popping up around Biggie Shack, people like that. Tremendous. Yep.
And whenever Comic Vet decides he wants to call out sick on Saturdays,
yeah. I am an understudy. I I get tagged in.
That's a valuable position. That one, pole position.
Even though I've seen other understudies, so are you like the first
Remy's done it
understudy?
as well. I'm pretty
Remy.
sure.
I'm the favorite.
You're the go-to guy, and
It's the night before. Who has no plans on a Saturday?
Izzy, what are you up to?
Oh, I'm always busy. You know me. I got the cover price tomorrow, so we're doing the cover price top 10. Let's find out what's there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of X-Men books. And then on Tuesday is the top trending show over at my channel, Izzyverse NYC, where me and Cliff yell at each other, where I drive Cliff crazy. We're going to be doing a spotlight on John Buscema this week. And obviously, we're going to talk about what happened in D23, where he's going to say, I care or I don't care. And that's Cliff.
But he's going to say it a lot louder.
Oh, he's going to say
and
it
then you're going to
So if he cares, he's going to stay on the topic for longer than he has to. If he doesn't care, he wants to get out of the topic as long as he has to. And I'm sure we'll talk about Lanterns.
Tonight.
That is tonight in 2 hours.
That is tonight.
In 2 hours.
Okay.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a thing to do.
I love a good. I love characters that are mainly, usually cosmic characters that are space cops that police Wyoming ranches.
There you go.
It writes itself, doesn't it?
Hey!
You get to find out
John Stewart's first stories were Earthbound. Give John some time to get his feet wet.
Yeah.
Well, Laura Linney is in the show,
less
and
to
we
do
don't
with
know
John
who she
Stewart,
is.
more to do with Yellowstone being gold.
Yeah.
Well.
Yellowstone.
I'm gonna enjoy Hal Dutton a lot tonight. Okay,
it's gonna be good, but I can tell you that True Detective was a lot cheaper to make than anything in space. So there's a reason why they went the True Detective route rather than the anything in space route.
Yeah.
We'll put a couple of bucks for a couple of episodes.
If people dig it, then maybe they'll get a couple of extra books next time around. Maybe.
I mean, maybe that's the hope. It sticks around because I love Green Lantern when it's good.
There's already a second season been announced. They already talked about doing
that's a good sign, I suppose.
Plus they need a hit right about now. They're between this and Clayface, they need something. They need a hit before 2026 is over with.
Yeah, I think Clayface will be fine.
Yeah.
Right. So I myself am doing this next week, and that's pretty much it. There won't be one the following week because that is all in, and I will be there or on a train on the way back, depending on the time. But so that's right. Should you wish to purchase comics, I sell them on Whatnot. Just saying. If you're in the UK, purchase it from me. And I would like to thank you all for coming and chatting some wrestling with me. I've been thinking about doing a new show for a long time, but really the only thing I have any authority to talk about is wrestling. I can't really do comics so well. I love comics, but I can't talk about them like that. I don't think I've got a better grasp on the wrestlings. So hopefully we'll make this a regular thing. Have an awesome day, guys, and I appreciate every one of you in the audience.
And I don't really know. Well, I suppose, no. Really what happened was, no, the thing is, rather than confront, I thought...
Skip to the end.